Welcome to the Featured Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Jack.
And I'm Rick.
And today we are talking about TenPuru, No One Can Live on Loneliness, also known as Temple, which was a recommendation from Jeb. Thank you for the recommendation, Jeb.
Appreciate it.
If you want to hear the pre-show content that we were talking about and just having some general good old fun, or hear about anything else really kind of that we're talking about, you can go to patreon.com/featured anime podcast. $8 a month will get you access to that bonus content. And of course, if you want to help us through other means, you can always go to shop.featuredanimepodcast.com and buy yourself some nice swanky swag on there that helps us and helps us grow. And then you can also check out our affiliate links in the show notes for Crunchyroll, and you can watch TenPuru, No One Can Live on Loneliness if you feel so inclined. However, keep in mind, this is not for children at all. And then, of course, if you want to help us through other ways and then eat some nice, wonderful, delicious Tokyo treats, you can go to our affiliate link in the show notes down below. Use coupon code Featured Anime, get $5 off that very first box. And trust me, the treats are worth it. And they are always so delicious. Of course, all the information and everything else is available to you on our website at featuredanimepodcast.com. And now onto the meat and potatoes. TenPuru, No One Can Live on Loneliness, is produced by King Records, DMM Pictures, Gree Entertainment. Studio for it is Gecko. Aired from July 2023 through September 2023. It's a harem romantic comedy, ecchi slice of life. It's based off of a web manga, and it is 12 episodes long, plus 2 OVAs, which basically are combined into a 13th episode to round it off. Now, Temple basically takes us into the life of a Kagame, a guy who's dead set on living a pure and wholesome life after watching his womanizing dad mess it all up constantly throughout his entire childhood. Due to certain events, he ends up starting to fall towards worldly desires, as he keeps putting it. So what does he do? He joins a temple to escape the temptation, only to find out that the temple he was recommended to is a nunnery, and it's full of attractive women. Thus, chaos ensuing there. Now, as a result of certain circumstances and his dad, no surprise there, he is living there doing household chores and daily work to work off a debt that his dad has saddled him with as a result of it. And as a result, he is trying not to lose his mind and maintain his purity, in a manner of speaking, through the moments. It's basically a classic harem with a twist of a guy who actually wants to resist everything in a very dumb way. Putting plainly, it's a dumb, horny, and occasionally sweet anime that deals a lot with boob gags and misunderstandings. So basically, you know exactly what you're getting into.
Yeah, you can't really. So this one's, I wasn't expecting it to be this in your face. Like it's there are certain episodes that are just a left turn away from being a hentai, and you're like, that's provocative. There's a reason why it's 16 plus, you know?
Yeah.
But if you take all that out of it, you take all of the fan service out of it, it's not a bad story.
It's really not. And it's hilarious. It has a lot of moments where I was actively chuckling throughout. And, you know, when I'm sitting there trying to just watch it in bed and not wake up my wife while I'm laughing, it's kind of hard because the whole bed jiggles while I'm trying to restrain my laughter.
Yeah. No, it's one of the things I really liked about that thing. They do mix comedy with lucridity isn't a word, but like it's ludicrous. The situations that this guy gets put in, and the lengths that he goes to maintain not only his virtue but his path. Just chef's kiss, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
And one of the funniest things I thought when I was watching this was like, if you were to turn this into a drama rather than a horny rom-com, it would work.
Yeah.
It really would work. The base premise is you have somebody tests the way that their parent lives and decides to devote their life to the exact extreme opposite.
Well, it's not that he tested how he wanted to tested it. He saw the results of it. And that's one of the things I'm really glad they touched on is what caused him to completely drive the opposite direction of how he was growing up. And it's because, and Christmas was one such example, that he decided to try and balance Christmas out with all his lovers, and it just turned into this bloodfest every single year that just never worked out. And so that's what drove him to one, not liking Christmas, but hating that type of lifestyle. Because as a kid, he saw his dad's, mentality and listened to his dad, and he thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then he realizes that's not so much the case, that it is 100% a horrible way of trying to live, and nothing but issues and problems are going to ever ensue.
Yeah. But the thing is, the dad is okay, so this kid apparently comes from solid stock when it comes to gene pool. He's very handsome, very charismatic, lean, muscular build, apparently overall attractive. And his dad apparently must be the same. Must be, because even though all of his mistresses and people he's involved with know about everybody else, you assume, because they always fight about it. He can't find a happy balance. He always wants more. And he always goes for more. And he goes so far as his father's so unscrupulous that he takes a loan from a temple and puts the basically in debt for no known purpose other than the fact that it happened, which is the premise of him trying to work it off,
Well, I don't remember them saying it was a loan. Was it a loan?
Yeah, that's why he's trying to work it off.
No, I thought he damaged something or stole money from it or something like that. I don't remember it specifically being.
I thought it. I remember it being a loan that he never repaid. Okay. Yeah, no, I get it. I understood it as a loan that he never repaid. So technically, yes, theft.
Yeah,
which is why he was trying to work off said debt. Although he also might have damaged that statue.
Yeah, but the statue, when they got it appraised for it, was only 500,000.
Not 29 million.
10 million was the total. His total debt was 10 million.
One of the many things.
Yeah,
I thought it was 29.
No, it was. I remember that.
Weird. 10 million doesn't seem like a lot. 10 million doesn't seem like a lot to pay back. If
you have no job, you have no income.
Yeah, I was just thinking, if he was to work it off, 10 million could easily be paid back. If repair of a statue is 500,000, you got to figure you should be able to do that every month, at least once a month. So let's assume it's 500,000 a month. That's still 20 months. So it's still doable. And they do talk about it as if it is achievable one day. Like, what are you going to do after you leave? That was one of the conversations they had. What are you going to do after you're done? And
right. So, I mean,
that's part of his path to enlightenment.
Right. So you're putting this in the mindset of like, oh, that's not a lot of money. 10 million yen. If he were to work a full-time job and say make about $30 an hour, and he took everything home, and everything that he was taking home, he gave 100% of that to them, it would take him 1 year, and he was just working a straight 40-hour shift. Okay. It would take him a year to pay it back. That's
really,
that's what it is. It is equivalent to him working $30 an hour, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, weekends off. And then
weekends off, yeah.
Not paying any taxes, not paying anything to Social Security, Medicare, anything like that. Nothing. Like he's 100% bringing 100% home and then paying 100% of that to them. right? That's what you're saying. It's like, yeah, it's totally doable if he does that, knocks it out. Yeah, sure, it is. It is doable, but yes,
What's
to
it come out
understand,
to? What?
it comes out to
What's
just
the
like
dollar amount? Oh, sorry.
US comes out to
Mhm.
just under 70 grand
Cool.
and 10 million.
I thought the number was inflated higher than that, but 70 grand. Yeah, that's
it's about 10 million. And then you'll have to add on like another 35,000 on top of that because he's being charged another 5 million
interest.
because of the kiss he did. That wasn't even his fault. That was 100% accident at the beginning. So
it
technically is 15. He's technically at 15 million in debt. So you're looking at like 100 grand.
That's that's a $35,000 kiss. That's expensive.
Yeah. Or
I've lived
cheap.
a long
I mean, like,
time, and
or it could be cheap. You never know.
I've kissed many people, and no one's ever told me I've got $1,000 kiss.
Yep. No,
I've never met anybody I'd pay $1,000 to kiss.
Yeah, let's find out here.
Who charges $1,000 to kiss?
No. What is the total amount? 10 million Japanese. 10 million Japanese yen equals to $68,760. And if you are at 15 million, which is where he's at, the total amount is $103,140. So he's got a lot of money he has to pay back.
It's an astronomical amount.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's an amount that I would be remiss.
Right. Well, I mean,
CJ says chump change for Rick. Oh, well, you know.
I mean, like that's how you were acting, right? It's only 10 million.
Initially,
it's nothing, man. I paid that off, and just work a normal job, pay it off a little bit at a time, and in 2 years it's paid off. Not a big deal. Wham, bam, thank you, man. Good gosh, move on.
I mean, if I was to do my same job in Florida, Texas, yeah, that'd be chump change, no problem.
Right. Yeah,
super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Super, yeah. Right. Yeah. Sure.
Wouldn't even miss it out of my check.
Right. Rick blows his nose with 20 million yen. I was like,
well, you gotta dry up the tears somehow.
Yeah. Well,
man.
So yeah, it's not a small amount of money. It's a large amount.
No, but so okay, let's look at it. Let's assume he's gonna become a priest, which he thought he was twice.
No, it's not that he thought he was going to become a priest. When he shows up, he thought he was a priest. And then he finds out he wasn't a priest. Yeah. And he realizes like that was the only thing helping keep him at bay was his own misconception. On top of that, but now he's
like, I gotta. But he was like, I've got to uphold my values. I've got to keep on the straight and narrow for this job, this priesthood. And then, he lost his mind when he's like, hey, wait, I didn't have to. I could have been doing this. I could have been womanizing. I could have been doing that. No, this is just another test.
Yeah.
And he's very fond of punching himself till he bleeds or poking his own eyes out till they bleed. Or in one particular instance, he falcon punches his junk so that it stops reacting in a certain way.
Well, the reason why, again, so at first, when he first shows up, everyone doesn't want him there. They try to do everything they can to get rid of him or put him in precarious situations where they're trying to force him to be gotten rid of. And in one instance, he's given basically a drink that gives you 3 days of vitality. And that's why he, falcon punches himself in the nether region to put it down because one person is trying to force him to leave, do anything that they can to get him to leave. And I'm not going to go into the details about it because it's just one of those subtle plot points where I feel it's better.
A little caveat.
Yeah, it's a nice watch.
And he's got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 girls plus a nun. Plus, I think Kiki was her name.
The priest.
The priest.
Yep.
And each one of them has their own path. Isn't the right way to put it, but each one of them has the obstacle for him to overcome for the value of friendship and or well, no, I can't even say more because more never happens. But yeah, like he's very adamant. We can only be friends. We're friends. We're this. We're that. I'm helping you. This is my job. It's only because of my job. And slowly but surely, he wins the hearts and minds of everyone else there, which makes me think that he does have a superpower of sorts. It's just a bloodline that it turns his charisma up to 15.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no,
yeah, it's nuts because like
it is.
it's enjoyable. It's light.
It's an enjoyable show. It's full of comedy. It's got its hilarious banters and moments and situations that happen all the way throughout. It's there's not a single moment that goes by where something outrageous doesn't happen, or there's always something that makes you go, what did I just watch? What did I just see? Or did I just totally misunderstand what happened here?
Yeah, they do that a lot. They do give you the opportunity. Thankfully, you have it on Crunchyroll or whatever service you were watching it on. The ability to rewind. And
Yes.
you use that several times.
Yes.
Almost per episode.
Yes.
They talk very quickly. If you're reading in subs, they talk real quick. If you watch in dubs with subs on it, it's still a lot of talking, super fast.
Yeah.
So it's not that easy to follow unless you're 100% immersed into it. But yeah, it's a decent anime. I would recommend it. I think it's a light refresher. There's, like I said before, hardly any drama, if any. There are emergencies, yes, but they're mainly brought up upon themselves. And the duality of, my goodness, this person is perfect, to, my goodness, this person can barely function as a person. I don't know how they're able to function. And I'm specifically referring to the bow and arrow girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
One where she's idolized as this perfect being, and then she actually tries to do it.
So you say bow and arrow girl,
like,
are you talking about the one that left because she was horrible, or the one that was
no?
Okay, the other one.
Oh
okay.
yeah, sorry, the one that left that she was horrible.
Yeah, okay.
She was the one that was
Yuzuki?
placed upon a pedestal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool stuff. I hesitate to go too much into detail on a lot of the things because the plot points are sprinkled throughout, yes, but the minor, you have one large overarching arc for the whole show, sorry, but you also have many sub arcs, some side stories that get resolved in an episode or two that I personally think flesh out the world and make the story better. But again, if I go too far into it, I'm basically telling you the entire side story when it's
the side
much more
the side stories are for sure very nice. They're easily digestible, and it gives you just enough information for you to be able to understand what is going on and for you to be able to see what is happening, right? And gain a better context and understanding of the people and characters around it. So there's not going to be any worries about that, so to speak. They do answer some of the questions that are brought up. There are some things that are just never answered, unfortunately, as a result of the nature of the beast, so to speak.
Yeah. If it was a longer anime, I think they'd be able to flesh out a lot more. But for what it is, it was nice. It was quaint. It was tight as far as if you would take one or two episodes out, I think the anime would be less for it.
Yeah. And to clarify, there is 2 OVAs at the very end, which don't really have anything to do with the main story. It's the 2 OVAs are actually mashed into one single episode, so it gives it the appearance that there's 13 episodes. It's actually 12 with just the 2 OVAs. But a lot of the story, again, really kind of plays on it. A lot of it does kind of build out. You do get a lot of information kind of presented to you in an easily digestible manner. However, I feel like there was a lot of things that were happening in the show where it just didn't retain a lot of weight for me. So like take the example of his father's debt, which is a key pivotal point, right? Or the amount of the debt or anything else having to do with it. It's like I remember that being there. I remember that kind of being the point, but the significance of it is just kind of really kind of underplayed.
It's not lost on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of the whole show though.
Yeah. I mean, like if you're looking for something that's easy watch, if you want something that's got clean animation, that's kind of easy to get through and is good for a once through, good for a single watch, this is a decent show for you as long as you're older.
Yeah. Yeah. So long as you're older, that's the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm. So
older and have no shame, because people will walk in on you at some point in time, and every single time in this anime you will have compromised positions whenever it's inconvenient for someone who's unfamiliar with the show to look over your shoulder.
True, for sure. All right, well, I think this is a good spot for a rating, sir. How about you?
I agree. It's unfortunately a short episode, but it's a clean, short anime.
I don't know about clean, but you know. Oh, and I did get more details on the debt. So you said 29, I said 10. It's actually in the middle at 20 million. And he borrowed the money to build his harem around the world. That's
okay, how does that work? But
yeah, that's why why he borrowed the money. He borrowed the money and then vanished, never to pay it back, because he wanted to build a harem of girls around the world. That's why he wanted the money, and that's how he got the debt.
So long as you run, you never have to pay it back, right?
Yeah, sure. All right. So on a scale of up to 10, sir, how would you rate this?
I think I would give it about a 6. It wasn't bad. Like I said, the story was able to hold up on its own. The reason I cannot give it any higher is the fan service was just out of this world. I couldn't. It's not something I'd recommend because people would look at me funny for it, you know?
I mean, you just had talked about how you would recommend this to people. You had just said, I would recommend this. It's a clean short anime. It's enjoyable. It's this, it's that. Yeah. No, I am not buying the 6 for the long shot. I'm not buying it. I know you're trying to save face.
No, I do want to give it a 6. I do want to give it a 6. I can't, in good conscience, give it more than that, because I can't. Yes, if you want a palate cleanser, if you're an adult, if you can watch it away from everybody, yeah. But I can't recommend it to my brother. So for those reasons, yeah, I'm giving it 6.
All right, sure.
For CJ's sake, you got to give it a 9. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not.
It would just make his world.
Because honestly, I don't rate things on trying to save face. I give this a 7, largely because of the open ending. They set it up for a lot more, but they let it fall short on a lot of other things. They certainly engaged hard on the comedy portion of it, and they did not let me down. There were a lot of points where it was very comedic, very enjoyable. This is for sure exactly what I expected it to be, just from the short synopsis and description in and of itself. So I wasn't surprised by that any and all. However, the story was very, it was a very narrow, wide and narrow in terms of character development and story. There's not a lot of depth to it. It's very, very flat, unlike a lot of the characters in here.
Yeah. Yeah. Ain't that the dang truth?
But it is a different take on the harem portion of it, which is why I'm going with a 7. So next week we are going to be talking about Anime-Gataris, which was a recommendation by Major Montana. Thank you for the recommendation, Major Montana. Very much appreciated. If you feel like we did too much justice, not enough justice, or anything like that, feel free to let us know. Go ahead and reach out to us. We are available on Discord, Patreon, everywhere. And don't forget to leave us a rating and let us know how we're doing. It's very much appreciated. And of course, Until next time, I'm Jack.
And I'm Rick. And we'll see you next time.
And scene.